And welcome back to the Good Christian Boys Fantasy Football Podcast number 3. Talking about Week 8, talking best and worst performers, talking matchups. We're going to have last week's weather, brought to you by Jaron Carpenter. We're going to have a call-in from the commissioner. He has a busy day. I think he has to call in while he's on the road. But we'll have that today. A lot to talk about last week. We can start off with some of the matchups of last week. Pretty big week when it comes to some playoff implications. We have quite a few matchups that were actually pretty close. Some heartbreakers for some people. We'll touch in on how that affects fantasy football playoff odds. We'll touch on fantasy football schedule comparisons. And yeah, plenty of things to do. We're going to have a good time. So let's start off with last week's matchups. I'll show them to you here. So we'll start off here with Cam Little versus Jamarca the Beast. Jamarca the Beast, I forgot to say in the beginning, I'm the owner of Jamarca the Beast. Best owner in the game. Best team in the game. It's good to see. We have Cam Little. He faced off against Jamarca the Beast. Very close one. Came to Monday night. Cam Little loses 148 to 153. Technically a 5.5 point, yes, 5.5 point difference. Top performers, James Cook and Tucker Kraft, Jordan Love and Drake May, and A-Chain and Rashee Rice. Second matchup, the Booty Bowl. It's LaMarvelous versus Amon the Spectrum. You could combine both their team points together and they wouldn't have beat me or Caden. Or a lot of the league. LaMarvelous wins 90.7 to 44.5. Saquon Barkley, Michael Pittman Jr., R.J. Harvey, Juwan Jennings, Dak Prescott, and Rachaad White are the top performers in that game. Then we go on to Uncrustables losing a heartbreaker by 6 points to Team Pack 108 to 114. We had Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Vidal, Metcalf, and Javonte Williams. They were the top performers for Game 3. Game 4, War and Peace versus I Hate A.J. Brown. Close game as well. A lot of close games this week. We have a 112 to 115. Patrick Mahomes, Rashid Shaheed, George Kittle, Bo Nix, Booty, and Marks. Top performers. Game 4, Oh My Josh defeats Baker, touchdown maker, 149 to 132. We have Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Rome Odunze, Chase Brown, Buffalo's defense, and Travis Kelce as the top performers. Then we have the second win for the commissioner this year. The Wyoming Redskins gets the win, 125 to 111 versus Joe the Bengal King. Top performer for Wyoming Redskins is the Tampa Bay defense, 25 points. Then Gadsden with 18, McMillan with 16. We have Jalen Hurts, Henry, and McLaughlin for Joe the Bengal King. Joe the Bengal King did not change out Drake London, who did not play and got 0 points, and he only lost by 14, so that was definitely the reason he lost, very much likely. I want to touch on it's the third week now, so I feel like I need to touch on it. LaMarvelous is, even though he won, third straight week under 100 points, does not look great for him, as I said last time. We'll have to see. Maybe he's still leading the Heartland division. I don't know how, but it's not looking great for forward prospects. Usually he's very locked in. Cohen's usually very locked in, but this year it just doesn't seem like he is. Doesn't seem like he's as locked in. Not sure what he's doing with his time. There's nothing more important than fantasy football. But yeah, that was last week. Some of the worst performers some of the worst performers this week. Pretty much all of Amon the Spectrum's team. We had Quentin Johnston. He is the worst performer. Well, actually, he's not. Quentin Johnston got 0 points, but the Bengals defense got -9. Not that would have mattered. She still would have lost. But the Bengals defense, -9 while facing the New York Jets. They are cooked. That's not going well for them. For LaMarvelous, his worst performer, Lamar Jackson, he kept him in, and Lamar Jackson didn't play. So that was 0 points. Outside of that, it looks like it was Marvin Mims, 1.8. Not great there. So definitely one of the worst performers there. We have a lot more talk, but since we've talked about last week's matchups, I want to talk about Wing Watch. Last week, I think I had on Wing Watch, I picked 4 people, and I think it was War and Peace, Joe the Bengal King, I might be wrong there, Wyoming Redskins, and the Marvelous. And I'm not really sure it's changed much, to be 100% honest with you. I think those 4 are still on Wing Watch. Hasn't been a ton of improvement. Wyoming Redskins did get the win. Joe the Bengal King loses. War and Peace loses. The Marvelous wins, but still doesn't score 100 points. I think all 4 of those are still fair to say on Wing Watch. I don't know. Julia might be back on Wing Watch. I'm on the spectrum. But last week she was playing without Nico Collins and without Sam Laporta and without Amon-Ra. So not really a representative week of that team. So I'm still mildly concerned about the Marvelous, War and Peace, Wyoming Redskins, Joe the Bengal King. The trade talks of last week, both, I would say, improvements. Definitely James Cook. James Cook goes off for almost 40 points. And even, what's his name? Pickens. He's so useless, I forgot his name already. No, Pickens goes off 15.5. He is the top, wait, is that right? No, sorry, 14.8. Goes off 14.8. Definitely gave him that consistency that's needed at wideout for him to win. But his 2 running backs that had been consistent all year, kind of butt, still gets the win. Joe the Bengal King, if he plays, definitely if he plays Breece Hall goes up for almost 40. I mean, definitely win Joe the Bengal King, or a game Joe the Bengal King could have won, and just from lack of paying attention chose basically not to win. It was basically a decision. He chose not to win. Yeah, so we can talk about power rankings here, how they changed. I'll remind you here, let me pull it up, the power rankings of last week. Since we've talked about Wing Watch, you kind of have an idea already, but let's look here. Last week's power rankings. Power ranking number 2. Okay. Yeah, so I'll put this on the screen. You guys, just for a reminder, I'll read them off real quick. But it was number 1, Team Pack. Number 2, Baker, touchdown maker. Number 3, Jamarca the Beast. Number 4, I Hate AJ Brown. Number 5, I Just Cam a Little. Number 6, Uncrustables. Number 7, La Marvelous. Number 8, I'm on the Spectrum. Number 9, Oh My Josh. Number 10, War and Peace. Number 11, Joe the Bengal King. And number 12, the Wyoming Redskins. Once again, perfect power rankings for the week. But they changed based on wins and losses every single week. You compare that to week 1, there's been some movement. Not a ton of movement in any dramatic way. I think last week I Hate AJ Brown moved up 3 spots. We do actually have somebody who moved up 3 spots this week. So I will bring that here. We'll have to surprise and suspense. But that was last week's power rankings. So here is the updated, brand new power rankings. So number 1, you already know. Doesn't matter. If I covered it up, you would know who it is. It's Team Pack. Team Pack is number 1. Number 2 is Jamarca of the Beast. Yep. Number 2, moving up, takes in the 2 spot, was the number 3 last week, but taking the 2 spot, Jamarca the Beast. You can see the beautiful number 9 Broncos quarterback in the background there. Don't know who that is. It was an AI creation, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Dropping down 1 spot, we have Baker, touchdown maker, still a very solid team. I don't really worry about his team all too much, to be honest, but he did lose Mike Evans, and he lost this week. He scored 132 points, which is a decent amount, but just not enough. His running back situation is looking really good right now, but his tight end situation may become shaky now, and his wide receiver situation definitely is. So we'll see what comes of that, really. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Baker, touchdown maker. He should make the playoffs, but I do think right now he's fallen behind Jamarca the Beast. But they're very similar teams. Any week it could genuinely go either way. Now on to number 4. Number 4, I Just Cam a Little, moving up 1 spot from the 5 last week. He lost this week, but scoring 148 points would have beaten everybody else in the league. It's just one of those, everybody but Sydney. Just one of those weeks. Just you were on the unfortunate end of it, but definitely beat the medium score. Overall, has a pretty solid team. Everyone on this team performed pretty well, especially Tucker Kraft on National Tight Ends Day, scoring almost 40 and almost breaking my heart. But he didn't. He didn't, because Caden is a dirty little sinner that God doesn't love. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, maybe. But Caden is involved with the Illuminati, and that brings curses. So, What can we say? Number 5, moving down one spot. I hate A.J. Brown. I'm worried about his running back situation. Full transparency, I hate A.J. Brown's running back situation. He's getting Gibbs back this week, so that's good. But his secondary running back right now is not great. I'm not sure when Omarion Hampton is going to return. Last I saw, it was like late November, but it could be quicker. We'll see. But yeah, that's a concern point for me. A.J. Brown's out for a bit too, so that's a concern at wide receiver. He has arguably the best tight end, Tyler Warren, but yeah, it just moves him down a spot. Nah, I still don't think he's bad, but has to move down. Moving up 3 spots. Here's our up 3 spots. Just like I hate A.J. Brown last week, this week it's Oh My Josh. Oh My Josh had a spectacular week, put up 149 points, beat the not arguably number 2 best team in the league. I mean, according to my perfect power rankings, it was the number 2. Really surprisingly consistent, well put together team this week for her. Only one person that didn't score double digit points, which is fantastic. Definitely deserving to move up from the 9 to the 6, and I think it's looking up for her. Moving down one spot on Uncrustables, I don't think too negatively, only lost by 6 points, but running back situation isn't great, and waiting for Puka to come back, which will help, and he had to bench 2 quarterbacks. He had 2 quarterbacks on a bye last week, so had to play Aaron Rodgers, which all that kind of affects. Ultimately, he still could have won, so I'm not too worried about Uncrustables there. Moving down another spot, number 8, LaMarvelous. I moved him down despite the win, because once again he didn't score over 100 points. That's the 3rd week in a row. That's just not gonna have success in the fantasy football playoffs if he makes either side. That's why he's on wing watch, because I think he could absolutely get knocked out of that one spot and miss the playoffs. We'll see what happens there. But he is 5-3. Despite all that, he's 5-3. Number 9, moving to the number 9, moving down one spot is I'm on the spectrum. Once again, not super concerned, but also there's room for improvement on that team. It's really the running back situation is kind of questionable right now, but also Kenneth Walker was on a bye last week. Sam Laporta on a bye, Amon-Ra on a bye, and Nico Collins hurt. So really the team has potential, and she's still good at wide receiver, and though Quentin Johnson put up a big 0. But I'm not too worried. But, still the last third of this power ranking, so it's not a great place to be. Number 10 going on. He did not move at all. This is War and Peace. Kind of the same opinion. One of the not as great teams in the league. Has Christian McCaffrey didn't do well last week. Christian McCaffrey did not well at all. Partially is what led to his loss to Sean. Christian McCaffrey only got 9.8. Isaiah Pacheco 5.8. Wide receivers did fine. Sutton, Downs, George Kittle had a decent game. Rashid Shaheed had a decent game. He's been more and more consistent. Zach Charbonnet for Darren was on a bye, so not really a perfect representation of what his team is. But yeah, we'll see. Number 11, moving up one spot, back to the 11 where he started 2 weeks ago. Wyoming Redskins, 2-6. 2-6. Improved. I think the trade did work for him, even though he would have scored more points if he didn't trade. I still think the trade will work in his favor. I think it'll work in both our favors. He wins. He's going against Shamarka the Beast this week, which is probably going to kill his playoff dreams. But you never know. You never know how it's going to go. And then last and least, definitely least, is Joe the Bengal King. Really, a lot of Joe the Bengal King's losses this year is not due to his team and completely due to the manager of the team, Braden Capel. Not paying attention, not trading trading people out when they're out, or not projected well. He keeps them in there. Definitely on wing watch. One of those guys that I'm not sure if we could get him to eat the wings, so we got to be on him about that. But there's plenty of people. I limit it to 4, but really there's plenty of people here that could be on wing watch, and I know we talked about that earlier, but I mean there could be over half the league on wing watch right now. It really could go either way, and we still have time for trades to happen until middle of next month, I think. And so we'll see what happens with that, right? We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we will see. Going into next week's matchup, I touched on one already, right? We'll go to the scoreboard. Go to week 9. And we'll look at the matchups here. So, right now, Jamarcus the Beast, Wyoming Redskins. Jamarcus the Beast, 56 to 44 percentage wise. Projected Jamarcus the Beast projected 147.8. Wyoming Redskins 136.0. Yeah, it would be an absolute upset if Wyoming Redskins wins here, but he needs to. He needs to keep his fantasy playoff hopes alive, and Jamarcus the Beast needs to win too, because it's the same thing every week. I say it every week. There's only one team that doesn't need to win. Actually, she has now officially clinched the playoffs, so she actually doesn't need to win except for to secure the number 1 seed, which I think she can do next week, or this week. I don't know. I might be wrong. But everyone needs to win. It's a close playoff race right now. There's only 6 spots. 2 of them are guaranteed to the number 1 seeds, and then it's fill in the blank. And it's unlikely that Jamarcus the Beast is gonna catch the number 1. But even though Wyoming Redskins probably has a better chance to catch the number 1 in his conference, he's only 3 games behind, and there's 4 games to go. So yeah, he has a chance, but he's gonna need some help. But yeah, big game for both of them. In the favor of Jamarcus the Beast, that would be my prediction. Second game, we've had one player already play, but it's Team Pack versus LaMarvelous, which is 72% already in favor of LaMarvelous. Lamar Jackson played Thursday night for LaMarvelous, got 27.6. You would think that would up his chances of winning, but he was projected to get 28, so it didn't up his chances at all. Obviously, you take all the projections with a grain of salt because anything can happen, but yeah, I'm going Team Pack with this one. She's a powerhouse, and until something happens, we'll continue to be. Picking up Kamani Vidal after Redskins, that racist little native, dropped him. Gosh. And now she's more of a superpower. Way to go, Tyler. Way to go, Commissioner. Little tyrant. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm going with Team Pack there. On to the lover of Team Pack. I mean, he might love the team, but he also loves the lady. I hate A.J. Brown, whose name I said should be I love A.J. Brown, but now he hates A.J. Brown. Is playing Uncrustables. Uncrustables scored 12 points Thursday night through the Ravens defense. I'm not sure where they were projected. I probably can see. They were projected 5.3, so that's a 7-point swing, which is great. Right now in favor of Uncrustables, 62 to 38. And I think this one's close. But Puka Nacua could be back, and I could swing it. But right now it says 131 to 110. So pretty heavily in favor of Uncrustables. If I had to bet right now, with the foreknowledge that they already have 12, I'd probably bet on Uncrustables. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on. Baker, touchdown maker. He got 4 points. He got 4 points on Thursday night, and I'm not even sure who that's from. It literally doesn't even tell me. Oh, yes it is. Tyler Loop, his kicker. 4 extra points. Not a great kicking performance. Not really kicker's fault. Obviously, he did what he could, but you want to get field goals. That's ideal. He's in favor to beat War and Peace 140 to 135.3. I would bet on Baker, touchdown maker. I mean, the projection's close, but I think Baker's team's better. But we'll find out. We'll see what happens there. On to Joe the Bengal King. Joe the Bengal King got 19 points on a Thursday night game from Derrick Henry, who rushed for 119 yards, which is fantastic. And I think he had some receptions in there as well. Currently, he's favored to win 121 to 116, 53% to 47% over Oh My Josh. This is a close game. Totally depends on who performs. Both these teams, and when you look at them on paper, they're kind of average. But last week, Oh My Josh's Sydney's team went crazy, and so we'll see what happens with that. Also, breaking news. I don't know. Rumor mill, but remember on this show, all rumors are treated as the truth. Sydney gets married to Tyler, right? This really good-looking guy marries him. He's like the reverend that marries him. Really good-looking guy. But they get married, right? But then I go in here. I might have to show it on screen. I mean, I'm screenshot it right now. Oh My Josh is Sydney Kaufman on fantasy. Oh, wow. I don't know. I thought there was love there, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe there's already a rift. But yeah, I mean, she even claimed to adopted the Bills. She did. She's a Broncos fan, like we all are. She's just trying to make Tyler feel better. I know. But yeah, I mean, look at that. Sydney Kaufman. I don't know. That's not what I heard. That's not what I pronounced. So maybe there's some riffs there already. Hard to say. Hard to say. Then we go on to our last game of the week. I'm on the Spectrum versus I Just Cam a Little. Julia versus Caden. Caden has 30 points already from two people that played on Thursday night, Devon Achane and Jalen Waddle. Yet is still projected to lose 135 to 129 in favor of him on the Spectrum, 54% to 46%. Close game. A lot of close games this week. All very pivotal, especially for those 2-6, 3-5 teams that are still, you're still in play to make the playoffs, though your percentages might be low. If I go here and I look at the standings, I'll probably look at it on Fantasy Football Hub and show it to you guys. But we'll just look at it here. The big thing right now is kind of with everyone who isn't 5-3 to an extent, because we have an 8-0, right? That's Team Pack automatically going to make it. And technically, right now, LaMarvelous 5-3 is technically going to make it. Someone on that conference is, right? So at least 4 spots. Not counting those two that are leading right now, LaMarvelous and Team Pack, you have 3 teams that are 5-3. Baker Breaker, Touchdown Maker, Jamarca the Beast, I Hate AJ Brown, all 5-3. The next closest team is 4-4 with Oh My Josh, and then a ton of 3-5s. We got 4 3-5s and 2 2-6s. So that leaves essentially with us 3, those 2, like one playoff spot to be fought for, and it's going to go to whoever can end with the best record of below the 5-3s right now. Obviously, 5-3s could drop some games and everything could switch, and we'll find out week by week. But that's the play right now, which is why I say like I'm on the Spectrum and Wyoming Redskins, who are both 2-6, aren't out of it, because a lot of teams don't have a good record this year. Right now, there's only 5. Yeah, we're going to count over 500. There's only 5 teams over 500, and if you count Oh My Josh, who is 500, there's only 6. But she's not over; she's exactly 500. So, yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like I'm on the Spectrum. It is crazy. I'm on the Spectrum is 6 games behind right now in the Pikes Peak Conference, and she's 2-6. But Tyler is only 3 games behind. So, and there's 4 games left. So if things go his way, like he absolutely could make the playoffs. So the odds aren't in his favor currently. So it's gonna be interesting. He's got some tough games. Wyoming Redskins. I'm touching on him, but we had him on the podcast last week. He's gonna be on the podcast in a live interview this week, and I'm touching on him because he's trying to make a push, right? He's trying to make a push, and so I'm wanting to see. I'm just being transparent. He's got a tough schedule coming up to make the playoffs. He has to play me, Jamarca the Beast. Then he plays according to this, he plays at I'm on the Spectrum, which that's an important game for both of them. Both are going to be 2-6 right now, and they're either going to be 3-6 or whatever happens. They may both be 3-6 if they win this week, and they both need to win to keep their playoff hopes up. And then he has Team Pack, who's powerhouse, and then I Hate AJ Brown. He has a bit of a gauntlet to go. It's not looking great for him. But he's had a kind of a tough schedule up to now, so give him benefit of the doubt. See, is there any other teams here that I want to talk about? Not really. Like I said, a big push. Big push coming up for them to make the fantasy football playoffs. Team Pack's already clinched the playoffs and is well on her way. Like I said, I think a game away. I could be wrong, but from clinching the first round bye. And actually, I could touch on that right now. We could see. We'll go to the playoff machine on Fantasy Football Hub. Let me screenshot this so I can show it to y'all on screen. The current setup. So, current setup, right? Team Pack 8-0, clinched the playoffs. Then followed Baker Breaker, Touchdown Maker, Jamarca the Beast, I Hate AJ Brown, LaMarvelous, Oh My Josh. Those are the top 6 currently to make the playoffs. And I want to see here. Sorry, I think I'll do what my projections were and see how that happens for Team Pack if she clinches first round bye or clinches the division, I guess, essentially is what I'm looking for. So it doesn't look like if she wins this week that she clinches the first seed. Yeah, I guess it depends on who wins and loses, but it's probably only a few weeks away, honestly, in all reality. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. So if she wins the next 2 matches, regardless, I think, I'm pretty sure if she wins the next 2 matches, she'll have clinched the conference. But Man, the Heartland Conference is wide open for anybody, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff. The Heartland Conference sucks. We may have to have a conversation if we need to remove a conference next year. May need to talk about that with the commissioner again. But yeah, I don't know. That commissioner's a little tyrant, comparing to Stalin or Hitler. And actually, those guys were better guys than Tyler Deegan. You know? So, yeah, it's hard to get through them. It's hard to get. Yeah. Yeah. Keep the inside thoughts. We didn't let that thought free, but that was funny. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, playoff odds. This is important to talk about. I believe I already took a screenshot of it, so you'll see it on screen here. But let me look at this playoff odds. So I'm looking at it here. Team Pack's obviously 100%. She already won it. The next up is Jamarca the Beast with a 97.6%, followed by Baker Breaker Session Maker, the 94.9, basically 95% chance. Then I Hate AJ Brown with an 88% chance. LaMarvelous with an 83% chance. Then there's a big drop off. This is where the playoff is really open here. Then we have Oh My Josh has a 56% chance right now, and then I Cam a little with 27. And then War and Peace with 19. Uncrustables with 17. Joe the Bengal King with 9. I'm on the spectrum with a 3% chance, basically a 4% chance. And then Wyoming Redskins chance went up to 0.58. Still less than a percentage, but last week it was like 0.2 or 0.19 or something like that. So it went up. It went up, not significantly. He needs help, but yeah, and you can look here. You can see on screen if you want to pause and look. You can look at what your odds are of finishing in any place. Currently, the top two chances to finish last place are Wyoming Redskins, and I'm on the spectrum with 38 and 33 respectively. So that's great. Now we're going to take a quick break for last week's weather with Jaron Carpenter.
Thanks, Zane. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jaron Carpenter here with your weekly weather update and a little dose of reality for Buffalo Bills fans and Tyler Deegan, who somehow still thinks this is their year. Let's start with today's weather. We've got a mild start to the morning. Temps sitting in the low 60s, about the same number of points the Bills won't score this weekend. As we move into the afternoon, expect winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Perfect conditions for Josh Allen to overthrow yet another open wide receiver. Moving into this weekend, Friday brings scattered showers across the area, so grab your umbrella or just use all those broken Bills dreams to keep yourself dry. Saturday will be looking cloudy skies with a 70% chance of Tyler Deegan claiming he could have coached better from the couch. Meteorologists are calling that a reoccurring pattern at this point. Now, looking ahead to next week, temperatures will start to drop into the 40s. That's right, it's about to get colder than the Bills' playoffs hopes and Tyler's fantasy record combined. We could see some light snow Monday morning, but don't worry, it'll melt faster than the Bills' defense in the fourth quarter. Special alert! Special alert! A storm's warning has been issued for Tyler Deegan's group chat. Heavy trash talk followed by scattered excuses expected to continue through the weekend. Please take shelter and mute notifications if possible. And finally, a look at 7-day forecast. Thursday, mostly sunny, 65. Bills fans still delusional. Friday, cloudy, 58. Tyler's ego takes a hit. Saturday, rainy, 54. Bills fumble their way through another loss. Sunday, chance of tears, 52. Deegan enters witness protection. Monday, cold and quiet, 48 degrees. Bill fans pretending they don't even care. Bright skies Tuesday, return once everyone forgets about the game. Wednesday, sunshine and false hope. So there you have it, folks. Unpredictable weather, collapsing pressure systems, and a consistent front of disappointment rolling in from Buffalo. Grab your coat. It's getting cold out here, and not even your excuses are bringing the heat anymore. This is Jaron Carpenter with your weekly forecast. Stay warm, stay humble, and remember, clear skies don't last long in Bills country. Back to you, Zane.
All right, thank you, Jaron. Thank you, Jaron, for last week's weather. That was super pivotal, super insightful. Honestly, yeah, I mean, once again, the commissioner deserves everything coming from him. Tyler, boo. Bills, really boo. No one likes the Bills. No one likes Josh Allen. Josh Allen is basically giving up on football because of his girlfriend or fiance or wife or whatever she is now. I'm not sure. I know. I think they're at least engaged. They might be married. Yeah. But thank you, John. So now actually, I know it's back to back. I didn't expect such a thing, but I think the commissioner is supposed to be on here soon. He had a letter he wanted read that he sent in to this podcast. Obviously, we break all the best news in the world. But yeah, let me see. He's calling in. Oh yeah, he's calling in right now. Okay, this is live, unedited. Everybody, sit back and enjoy what our commissioner.
Hello, this is Tyler Deegan, the commissioner of the Good Christian Football Fantasy League, and also the prestigious owner of.
Tyler, I just heard a bump in a road and screaming. Can you confirm what that was, please? We'll take a look back at that here.
Hello, this is Tyler Deegan, the commissioner of the Good Christian Football Fantasy League, and also the prestigious owner of the prestigious.
Tyler, I think you did just hit a child while talking about your prestigious 2-6 team.
Hello, this is Tyler Deegan, the commissioner of the Good Christian Football Fantasy League, and also the prestigious owner of the prestigious team, the Wyoming Redskins. We're 2-5, right? We got a good dub this past weekend. Thankfully, Braden started Drake London, even though he was out. Had Braden started Breece Hall, I would have been lost, probably eliminated from the playoffs. But we aren't eliminated, and we're still in it. 2-5. We finally got a dub. Big moment for the franchise. The team celebrated pretty heavily. One person got arrested. No details on that until the case is solved. Anyways, moving forward, we got another tough matchup against Jamarca the Beast, Satanic, and hopefully we can overcome that obstacle. It's going to be a pretty big one. Jamarca the Beast is on a roll. Plus, we made a trade. James Cook went absolutely ballistic after I traded him. Again, that's just the fantasy gods punishing me for being me, I guess. But I let James Cook be free, and the Bills are playing better. If anything, it was a very calculated decision on me. So that happened, but hopefully we have a good week and we get another dub. Also, breaking news from the commissioner. This offseason, as the commissioner of the league, I will be holding an all owners meeting to discuss the possibility of a big rule change. And that rule change will be removing defense and kickers from the lineup in favor for additional running backs and receivers. So instead of a defense and a kicker, we will have more running backs and receivers in our flex. And maybe even the possibility of playing a second quarterback, and a tight end in that position as well. Breaking news from me, the commissioner. It probably won't pass because I got a league full of whiny crybaby owners about some rules. I ain't gonna lie, but it's fine. But that is it from the commissioner. Breaking news. I hope it passes, but like I said, it probably won't because I got whiny crybaby owners. I had to say that twice to emphasize it. But yeah, tough week coming up. Hopefully we get the dub. Go Redskins.
Sorry there, Tyler really gets that going. I wanted to respect him with his native traditions and do a little rain dance that I've seen him do before. I mean, yeah, I just really wanted to show my appreciation for the commissioner with his style. Now you say, hey, Zane, that looks like a Mexican poncho. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Okay, natives, Mexicans, doesn't matter. Deport them all. Yeah, Okay. Back onto what the commissioner, a little racist, was talking about. Well, first, I mean, are we going to ignore that he hit a kid and just kept going? That tells you the type of guy he is. Okay? Wow. Yeah, I already called the police. They're on their way. Then we're going to talk about an arrested player on his team. I mean, I'm not surprised. He's basically the Raiders, just a bunch of criminals. I mean, you talk about Jamarca the Beast. You're like, you have a guy on your team that has a felony. Yeah, guess what? He's better than the commissioner. It doesn't, Okay. And then what is this? He's trying to forget history, saying he's 2-5. He's 2-6. He's butt. Okay. Anyway, all respect. I mean, I can't believe he hit a child. But satanic accusations, we're not going to bring those up. He's just Tyler is one. Like tonight, he's going to be doing some occult practices. He's big on violence and gore. And I mean, Tyler used to watch people die when he was a kid, like on Live Leak. So yeah, we're not gonna worry about what he says on that. He also talked about facing Jamarca the Beast this week and said Jamarca the Beast is on a roll, and he's right. And I know because Tyler knows a lot about rolls. You can tell. He knows a lot. And then the breaking news. I mean, the rule changes, right? The rule changes are crazy. He actually sent me his actual declaration, right? His right. I'll put it on the screen here. You can see it. We'll read it together. Let me find Tyler's little demonic thing that he sent me. There we go. Okay. So this is what Tyler Deegan sent to the league. This is official league memo from the desk of Commissioner Tyler Deegan. Good Christian Boys Fantasy Football League. Date October 31st, 2025. Subject: breaking news. Defense and kickers on the chopping block. Good afternoon, esteemed members and a few not so esteemed ones of the Good Christian Boys Fantasy Football League. After extensive research, countless sleepless nights, and a suspicious amount of time staring at waiver wire defenses, your commissioner has reached a groundbreaking conclusion. Defenses and kickers are out. 2 new flex spots are in. That's right. Instead of praying your kicker doesn't shank a 32-yarder or your defense doesn't give up 41 points to the Bears, shots fired at Julia, you'll now have 2 glorious flex spots where you can unleash the combination of any of these: running back, wide receiver, tight end, or even quarterback. Yes, chaos is coming. The move is designed to make fantasy football more fun, more competitive, and more true to the spiritual values of the league, namely not losing because your defense gave up a garbage time touchdown. However, your commissioner, I must acknowledge a grim reality. Some of our league owners are, how do I put this gently, crybabies. They fear change. They cling to their kickers like Linus to his blanket. They say things like, but what about tradition? Or, I drafted Justin Tucker in round 12. For that reason, this revolutionary proposal will go to a league vote, where it will almost certainly fail because some of you are allergic to progress. Sounds like a lib to me, am I right? In summary, proposal: remove defense and kicker, add 2 flex, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, tight end. Goal: more fun, fewer tiers. Outcome: probably doomed by the Cryberry Coalition. May God bless this league, even the ones who still think kickers matter. Respectfully but reluctantly, Commissioner Tyler Deegan, Good Christian Boys Fantasy Football League. So that's definitely a lib. We're not here for progress. Okay, we're here to conserve the game. I'm a fantasy football conservative. I'm also a real life conservative. Tyler, well-known Hillary Clinton supporter. You know what I mean? And maybe there's room here. Maybe we can remove the defense, add a flex spot, not for quarterbacks, but add 1 flex spot. 2 flex spots, that's a little crazy, and probably in a 12-man league, there's just not many players that can fit that role. Maybe 1 flex spot, keep the kicker, remove the defense. We'll see what happens next year when it comes up to it. Actually, though, I sent out a poll to the league when I got this breaking news. I was like, I want to see the results. So let me put the poll results on screen here for you guys all. Okay, so yeah, here you guys go. You can see 2 votes for yes, 1 vote for no, and 9 votes for Tyler is gay, which is not surprising. That's actually, I was surprised all 12 weren't on there. You kind of knew you were going to get 2 yes there because Sydney, we think Deegan, maybe Kaufman, like we talked about earlier, she's going to back her husband. We don't know who voted no, but the 9 Tylers are gay. I mean, I voted Tyler is gay. I mean, we know. Obviously, Sean, Jaron, Zach, Kaylee. Kaylee was out knocking on doors to get votes for Tyler is gay. She was really, really wanting that. and she got it. That's what she got. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. It doesn't really tell us much of what's going to happen, but it's good to see Tyler out there trying to make some rule changes. We'll see what happens. Okay, well, is there anything else we need to cover? If there's anything you guys think we need to cover, don't be afraid to email it to, we'll do my trash email, because I don't want you in my good email. So zcbroncos98@gmail.com. Anything you want to see on the show, go ahead and add that. I don't know, it's my trash email, so whatever. Yeah, I guess I don't think we talked about this. This is interesting. So before we go, I want to talk about schedule comparisons. I'm going to put them on the screen. It's a lot to look at, so you can kind of pause and look at it as you please. But schedule comparison right here. So this is what it's showing, is like how your record would be against someone else's schedule. So at the left is your team, and then at the top is how you would be against that person's schedule, right? So for example, the Wyoming Redskins is 2-6, but if he had my schedule, he would be 3-5. If he had Baker's schedule, he'd be 4-4. If he had Cohen's schedule, he'd be 5-3. And you can go through that and look. I just wanted to put it up there. I figured it was interesting for people to look at. Most people, let's see, if they had team packs. I mean, team pack schedule, it varies. You know, a lot of people would actually be like 4-4, 5-3. Baker would be 7-1, and I'd be 6-2. Those are the best two records outside of Kaylee, who's 8-0. But yeah, I mean, there's some, you can see that. You can see situations where your team would be better or worse. I just wanted to put that on there. And then next here, I'll put up this as well. Once again, if you want to look at it more, you can pause and look. This is your weekly record versus all teams. This is versus all teams. Just shows, like, if you played every team that week, what your record would be. It says week 1 through 8. You can see what your record would have been that week, and then you can see your total record. Currently led by Team Pack, and then Jamarca the Beast, and then Baker. And the worst currently is Uncrustables, War and Peace, and Joe the Bengal King. So yeah, if you want to pause and look at that, just wanted to show you guys some cool stuff. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you the power rankings on this website, which are, it says power rankings are determined by points scored times 2, plus points scored times winning percentage, plus points scored times winning percentage if they played versus the median score of that week. That's how they come up with their power ranking score. So far ahead, number 1, Team Pack, and then really close second and third is Jamarca the Beast and Baker. And then you can see the rest down the line, being the worst being Joe the Bengal King. I'm on the spectrum, Wyoming Redskins. Yeah, that's in reverse order. So yeah, if you're interested in looking at that, I just wanted to throw it on the screen. I don't think there's anything much more to talk about this week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in once again to the greatest podcast known to man. I hope you all lose this week except for me. Remember to stand up against the tyranny of the Deegan family, which there may only be one, but in total. Until next week, I thank you guys. I'm Zane Carpenter, leader of Jamarca the Beast, and I hope you guys have